Hello and welcome. My name is Megan. I'm with Inkredible Techniques, and today I want to share with you how to make this birthday card. It's a hip hip hooray. It's got a really nice horse, and on the inside I've decorated that, and I also will show you how to decorate this envelope. Quick, cute, simple. This card actually comes together really fast. Before we get started, I want to remind you, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so. Click that big red button. And then when you have done that, you can click the bell beside it that gets you notifications every time I post a new video. So today, the project, the focal point, is from a stamp set called Let It Ride. This is a new stamp set in the Occasions catalog. If you do not have this catalog and you need a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and would like to make a purchase and you're here in the US, feel free to reach out to me. You can leave a comment below or email me, and I will be happy to send you a catalog. And I'll get you on the list for the annual catalog and any other special catalogs we get as well. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started on today's project. So again, today we're going to be using the Let It Ride stamp set. This is from the Occasions catalog. And if you don't have a copy of this Occasions catalog, this is what the catalog looks like. You can leave me a comment below if you're here in the United States, and I'll be happy to send you one. So this stamp set is on page 45 of the Occasions catalog again. So this is the focal point of today's card, but let's get started with some stamping. I have a scrap piece of Whisper White, and I'm going to bring in Early Espresso, and I am using a few pieces from another set, this Happy Birthday Gorgeous set. This is where I'm getting the border for the classic label punch, and I'm also going to be using some of the sentiments for the birthday in here. So that's where that one comes from, and all of the supplies will be listed below in the description, and so will the dimensions. So I'm just going to go ahead and stamp this down right there. I'm going to grab my greeting, which is Hip Hip Hooray. I should have stamped this first and then stamped the other, but I think I can do it. I did it. Okay, great. So we're done with that. And while I have my ink pad out, I'm going to go ahead and ink up the horse and stamp him as well. Okay, put that off to the side. And for the moment, I'm going to close these up. So I have two punches here. This is the classic label punch, and that's what we're going to use to punch out this sentiment. I'm just lining the punch up and punching. And then for the horse, I have a 1 3/4 inch punch. I'm going to punch him out. This card really comes together very quickly. And it's super fun to make. I love the way this card looks, and I love simple stamping at its best. Okay, so on this horse, I did use the Crumb Cake, the light Stampin' Blend. So we'll just go ahead and I'll pull in the dark one in a moment too. The Stampin' Blends come in a combo. Well, you can buy them individually, but you can also buy them in a combo pack, with one being the lighter color and then one being the darker color. And this is the lighter one, but I may pull in the dark one in a moment too. In fact, I know I will for features. Now, you want to make sure when you're coloring with the Stampin' Blends that you do have a piece of scrap paper underneath, because it will bleed through if you don't. Well, it'll bleed through either way, but you want to make sure you protect your surface. So. And I have a light touch when I color, so sometimes the back of mine aren't so bad. But this is the regular Whisper White. If you want to make sure, it'll still bleed through potentially, but if you use the thick Whisper White, that's better for coloring. But since this is just a small focal point, I didn't need to do the thick Whisper White for this. So then I'm going to take the darker Crumb Cake marker, and I'm just going to go ahead and highlight some of the features here. Now, on camera, you may not see where this makes a difference, but it really does. Shade. Okay, So then the next thing I'm going to do is now this is kind of like a little splatter. I got this stamp from the Swirly Bird set, and it's this one right here. But there are several of our stamp sets that have similar images. So I'll show you, I'm going to stamp off on this anyway, and this is in crumb cake. So I'll just show you, just looks like a little splatter, and I'm going to stamp off a couple times. I just wanted a little bit of a different effect here, but you don't want it to be obvious or too dark. You just want it very, very light. So that just gives it, I hope you can see that, but it just gives it just a little bit of texture there on that. Okay, so we're done with that stamp. But the next thing I'm going to do is I have a piece of Whisper White and a piece of crumb cake, and both of these I'm going to emboss using the cable, is it called Cable Knit? Yeah, Cable Knit Dynamic Embossing Folder. So this is one of the thicker embossing folders, so you only need one clear plate. So here is my base platform. Hopefully you can see enough of that. I'll take my cardstock and I'll just place that in here. Now my card is going portrait mode, so I want to make sure that it's facing, I want the cable knit in the sweater to be also going this way. So that just helps me visually with what I want. But I'm just lining this up. Place that down on your platform, and you just need one clear plate. So I'm going to do that for this Whisper White piece, and I'm going to do it again for the crumb cake, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now we have our cable knit, the bottom layer, and we're going to layer this on top. It's going to go that way so that the cable knits match. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut out our scalloped shape. So I've got my magnetic platform, I've got a clear plate, my cardstock, my framelit, put the other clear plate on top, and I'm going to run this through the Big Shot, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now we have our scalloped shape. I'm going to grab my silicone mat here and my adhesive. I'm going to adhere this to the circle layer, just right about there. I'm going to go ahead and adhere these together, and you just want to make sure when you're adhering this piece, I'm going to put a little more snail on that, that you're lining up. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Since this has a pattern, we want to line up to the best that we can. There we go. Line up, and that way the pattern and the cable knits they match. Okay, then we're going to adhere this to our card base. I have an early espresso card base here. I'm just going to center this, or to the card base, I mean. Okay, then I'm going to grab my dimensionals. Okay, then we have our horse, so I'm going to put some dimensionals on that. Just make sure it doesn't get crushed in the mail. I'll peel the backings off. Place him about right there. Then I'm going to pull in the Hip Hip Hooray. Now for this one, I'm going to use the mini dimensionals on the back. And then I'm going to glue him down about, I think I kind of want it like right about there. There you go. So that is the front of our card. So I want to show you a little trick. See what I did? This should be going the other way. It's okay. When this happens, there is an easy fix. So I want to take this opportunity to show you. Now everything else on my card is fine. It's just this layer. So this one's actually going to be pretty easy. I've got some good old-fashioned dental floss. Now, go slow when you do this. But all I want to do, and this one should be easy because this is an embossed layer. There we go. Then you'll just slowly and very carefully work your way down. You can hear the adhesive popping up. And you just run it through all the way down. Then your layer should lift up pretty easily. There we go. Dental floss trick. So now we want to make sure it gets good and sticky again. So I'm just going to run some more adhesive. And I wanted to show you this because we all make these kinds of mistakes. And so a lot of people would think, oh no, your project's ruined, or you could send it as is, but I wanted to fix it and I wanted to show you this trick. So now I can just flip this around the proper way and adhere it, and nothing's going to show because any of those little fuzzies from the paper below are behind it. So now we're going in the right direction. And let's focus on the inside of our card and decorate our envelope as well. So I have my envelope and my inside card panel, and I'm going to use Mossy Meadow for my trees. I've got some trees here. I could do the horse again, but I think I just want to do these trees. This may be too dark, so I'm going to stamp off on this scrap paper, yeah. And I'm going to go ahead and just stamp it once here on the envelope. So now our envelope has a little something something. And I'm going to do the same thing for this card panel. Just put some trees at the bottom. And then I have my inside sentiment, which I'm going to stamp in Early Espresso. And that one says, "It's your day." So we have hip hip hooray on the outside, and then it's your day on the inside. And there we go. And then we'll adhere this. Place some adhesive on the back of this panel. And we'll adhere this to the inside of our card. And then we're done. There you go. So you have hip hip hooray, it's your day. So I'm going to use this as a birthday card, and then I've got my decorated envelope. So let me get this scrap paper out of the way. What do you think? Now, if you wanted, you could also stamp the horse on the envelope. I just thought the trees would be nice. Thanks again for joining me today. I hope that you really enjoyed making today's project. It was a lot of fun. Don't forget, before you go, please hit subscribe and give me a thumbs up if you liked the video. And I'll see you this time next week. Have an incredible week.